now.
Okay, thank you so much. Now we're going to get into social media training today, but I'm going to touch on specifically one concept because if I tried to give you all the social media training I could right now, we are going to be here for the next 17 years. There's probably not a joke because it's constantly evolving, constantly growing. However, if I could teach you on one thing that is across all platforms and works in all formats and would mean that you'll never run out of ideas again on what to post, would that be helpful? How about if I did it so that not only did you know what to post, but it helped you with what your audience is actually looking for? So no more random cat memes because, well, I kind of think it's funny, but it has nothing to do with what you're talking about. This is all designed content around your purpose and your needs. And when it comes down to Toastmasters, this is where it gets really important. And I have some questions, so interaction is expected. Why did you join Toastmasters? Pop it in the chat. What it was it that made you go, okay, I'm going to be a Toastmaster, or I'm going to find a Toastmasters club? Heather, maybe that there are people that, yes, as I said in the TLI training yesterday, two types of people. Someone made you do it, or you had a need to do it. Some are looking for communication skills, some are looking for leadership skills, some want to be the next TEDx superstar, some need to present better at work. But all in all, there's always a reason to why they want to join. Okay, perfect. Made a bad presenter. Fantastic. Yet, what do you think people type into search bars when they're looking for these things? How many of you, before somebody dragged you to Toastmasters, or you walked into a Toastmasters meeting, or you came up with Toastmasters, go, I want to be a Toastmaster. That is my desire in life, is to be a Toastmaster, because you knew exactly what a Toastmaster was before it even came across your desk. How many of you heard that? Did you know what a Toastmaster was? I've heard people say, is it how I learned to make toast? And I'm getting nods because people have heard that. And then there's also this idea that it's all about making toasts at wedding. I think one of the most common examples I heard when I first joined was they wanted to learn how to give a best man speech, a maid of honor speech. They had to give a eulogy, and it was these 2 to 3 minute topics that they joined because of toast masters. But we've evolved past that so far. And yeah, they think they're being clever, but honestly, it's a genuinely misunderstood thing. And how I heard about it, but those professionals and stay-at-home mom was there is so much incorrect information out there. So how can you, for a club, district, division, help undergo that bad information and create good information? So first, we're going to talk about how you're going to set up your presentation, your social media post. We're going to talk about how your social media post should be organized. And then we're going to talk about how to find the content. And I'm going to tell you right now, the concept and the flow of every post is super easy. You only have to remember three things. Every post that you're trying to talk to somebody and show the value, you should have a hook, the value, and the CTA. The hook, the value, the CTA. So first, that hook is that statement that grabs the attention. Think about every magazine that you've picked up and read. You've picked up magazines when you stood there at checkout or walking around and you've seen those big headlines. Newspapers, they have this huge headline, and that's what encourages you to read the rest of the story. So is your hook going to be, come join our meeting? Well, I have no idea what the meeting's about. I have no idea what I'm dealing with. So that's not going to hook anyone in. If I was to post something, for example, I used to be the person that wanted to vomit on people's shoes when I spoke. People are like, what? Excuse me? Huh? What's this about? It's something that catches attention. The value is where you're going to tell that person, depending on your hook at the beginning, what it was that they got from that hook and how you're going to fix it. The value is the solution. So, about vomiting on shoes, I needed to learn how to be a better speaker and communicator. And now, 6 years in on my journey with Toastmasters, and I can tell you, I haven't vomited in anyone's shoes for over 5 years because I have done this, and this. And my Toastmasters club encouraged me to do, see how I'm giving the value. And then the CTA is your call to action. What do you want them to do? So, hey, I'm inviting you to be my guest at my next meeting so you can see how this helped my fears and how it can help you. Drop a heart in the comments, drop a star in the comments, message me if you want the information so you can be my personal guest at the next meeting. That's a call to action. So real simple, if you can follow those 3 steps for all your social media posts where you're advertising or putting your club out there, hook them with a headline, lead them. And that could be, so I gave you my personal one about vomiting on shoes. It could be about, ever felt afraid of giving that presentation at work because you really needed the promotion? Ever worried if you were getting your point across correctly? 3 ways to not sound like an idiot when asked questions in meetings. Because how many of you have had that fear go through your brain when someone's asking questions in meetings, like, oh, am I going to sound stupid right now? These are all hooks. Specifically, if you do the 3 things, and we've learned this 3 technique in our speeches in Toastmasters, talk about 3 points. It still works in social media as well. 3 ways to overcome fear of speaking. 3 ways to give great feedback at work. 3 ways to effectively run a meeting. Give the value, give those 3 ways right there. Give the information, and then do a call to action and encourage them to come and join the next meeting, encourage them to be a guest, encourage them to have a conversation with you. Or the other CTA that's very popular is to encourage them, if you found this useful, share this post. If you found this useful, tag 2 other people that you think would benefit from this information. This is your basics. And then I'm going to give you the 4 V's. Now, this is a lot of information, and I promise it's going to get a lot more fun in a few minutes because I'm going to show you some magic tricks. The 4 V's of the types of conversations you can have on social media are your value, your variety, your vulnerability, and your viral. Value, variety, vulnerable, viral. And I'm going to explain to you how most clubs are doing this wrong. And I want to know, have you seen this? They post on social media, we have a meeting this week, come join us. We had a meeting, look at how much fun it was. We have a meeting next week, come join us. We had a meeting, it was fun. And they post twice a week or twice a month, depending on when they meet. And it's, come to the meeting, we had a good meeting. Come to the meeting, we had a good meeting. How many of you have seen that? And I'm seeing some laughs and I'm seeing some nods. So it's fairly common. And that's because people don't know the content to come up with. They don't know, well, what else can I post? And this is where that variety comes in. And I'm going to teach you some things that you can post that give you extra items so they can see concepts. How about celebrations? We're posting an event. Do we post celebrations? What kind of celebrations do we have in Toastmasters? Let's see. Let's come off. There's just 6 of us here. Let's come off mute every now and then and have conversation. It's much easier. So Someone give me a kind of celebration we can talk about in Toastmasters.
Completing a pathways level.
Awesome. Completing education. But if I was to post, Heather completed DL3. What does that mean?
Nothing to anybody but us.
Correct. Oh my gosh, so excited for Heather. She just completed her 3rd level in dynamic leadership. This is an internationally recognized professional credential within our organization. Not only does this mean that she's worked hard and tirelessly, but she's gained leadership experience, she's gained project management experience, and then I start going into the skill sets that you've developed from that. And I think this is the one thing about Pathways that everyone forgets. It is an internationally recognized educational qualification within our organization. Does it sound a little bit more, oh, I got a pathway level? If you were to go to Australia, or you were to go to Germany, or you were to go to Italy, and you walked into a Toastmasters club, and you told them you had your dynamic leadership level 3 or level 4, would they know what it is? So is it internationally recognized? Stop playing it down. That's the first thing. Stop playing down our education program. It's there for a reason. That's a great celebration. What else is a celebration within Toastmasters?
Maybe a club anniversary?
Yeah. Give the story of the club. Tell them why the club anniversary is so special. Gives you a great opportunity to tell you why your club is special. What else is a celebration?
A new member?
Yeah. Let's shout out those new members. Let's showcase them. Give a little information about them. What else?
I think people doing their icebreaker for the first time. No, I did 2 icebreakers. So the first time, I think that that's huge. I think that I think that's the biggest thing first time you do it is, to me, huge, because that's the stepping stone. I'm either going to feel really good about it or I'm going to run away and I'm never going to come back again. And that's huge to be able to have that be accepted and to be celebrated and say, that's, it's to me the biggest.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, icebreaker is fantastic. It is in letting them know that someone achieved something that they walked into the room to do. They joined the organization in order to do this. Let them know that they're on their way, that they're celebrating. What else? Is that all we can think of?
Accomplish goals in their careers outside of Toastmasters that are related to things that we learned in Toastmasters.
Yeah. Let's shout those out. Let's show that. What about if someone is the R counter and does an absolutely spectacular job and finds different things and gives you an opportunity to tell people why we do that role? What if somebody steps up to become a chair in the organization and gets the opportunity to lead hundreds of members within a specified topic and they happen to be part of your club? What if somebody's featured in a training video? What if somebody's featured in the newsletter or on the website? What if someone in the club tells an absolutely hilarious joke and you think it's the best joke you've ever told? You can use that to share. What about table topics questions? Could we be sharing those as reels and TikToks? When we really look at it, everything we do in the club environment is a celebration. And one of the best things you can do with social media and being part of the VPPR role is to celebrate those members achieving those things and giving them the credential, giving them that feedback that you appreciated them and you saw them. Because one of the biggest things I find from members is they want to be seen and heard. So at a club level, we can do that. You can also celebrate birthdays, Toastmaster member anniversaries. So many different things that you can do for celebrations. Then we have our variety, the fun stuff. Do any of you have fun in your Toastmaster meetings? Somebody's going to get in trouble today. And her name begins with a J. I'm just saying, somebody's going to get into a lot of trouble. Why can't we share some of these fun things that we do? Why can't we, as we entertain ourselves in our clubs, why can't we entertain those looking at our clubs to say, hey, we're having fun, you should come and see us? When I was program quality director, we did the conference. It's something that Heather has to look forward to this year. And we posted, several of us posted on our TikTok and Reels, picture of all the different people in the conference committee with those little rolling wagons walking down the hallway with the music, we see them rolling. That actually got a lot of comments and a lot of hits. And we got us an opportunity to talk about committee work, teamwork, building something, creating an event, and it started conversations. And here's where I'm going to spend the most of my time today, is working on the value. Your value posts are the ones that are the most likely to get some virality. Because when you can teach someone online, people will share it. I'm going to give you the most common example of this, because I can guarantee that everyone in this room has done this at some point. What happens when you see a recipe online that you like, that looks good? Do you share it? Do you save it? Do you copy it? Doesn't matter whether or not you actually make the recipe, because sometimes we have 1,001 recipes saved that we haven't done, but we do some form of action with it because we're like, no, this is it. I need to make this. I need to cook this. This is the best thing ever. We get the opportunity to do this with our Toastmasters as well by teaching. But we're not teaching someone to cook. We're teaching people to communicate, to evaluate, to gain self-confidence, to prosper in their professional level. We're teaching them how to grow themselves and develop communities. These are things that we teach in our meetings, but we don't ever teach it online. Do we see a disconnect here? We're sitting here talking in our meetings about growing, but we don't go to our club social media pages and talk about it. What is the one thing people want to do when they come to Toastmasters? Grow. And if we don't tell them, then that's not going to work. Rebecca, okay, you had a huge spontaneous celebration with music and everything. Absolutely. And I hope you recorded that and used that in social media, because that shows how much fun your club is. I just gave you a list that if you literally went through and started doing everyone's celebrations and accomplishments and the fun things you had, you would have content for weeks after each meeting. Because you can look at everyone in your club and find something that was a win for them this week. And if you can't find something that was a win for them, well, then you need to have some mentor moments and see how you can help them have more wins. Because as established Toastmasters, not only is our job to grow ourselves, but it's our job to grow and develop other people so that they can succeed as well. But here's the question: value. And how does the value count? And what do we do to help them with that? Okay, a lot of D100 don't have Facebook. That's okay. We have many social media accounts, and we can always encourage people to get connected or use things like the newsletters. You can use this information in newsletters too, but this social media is about helping attract new members and keep people celebrated within your clubs. So I am going to share my screen, and we're going to have some fun here. I'm going to show you one of my absolute favorite websites in the entire world for social media value. This is just, I love it. Now, with this website, you can sign up for a free account and you can get 3 searches a day with a free account. So 3 searches every 24 hours. Now, I'll be honest, I have to have a paid account because I am a social media strategist. So I use this probably 10 times a day for 10 different brands. So, but for a club or someone who's looking for 3 searches is going to give you around about 1,500 questions that you can answer. Somebody come off mute and give me a keyword that they think of when they think of their club and how we help people grow. Don't be shy. I will pick on people. I am not above the volunteering. Trust
Are
me.
you talking about what the average person might type in when they're
Yeah.
looking?
What's
Public speaking.
public speaking? Okay, good. Thank you. So we put in public speaking, and you see here, you can pick the country and the language, and we hit search. And this website, I'm going to put the link in the chat afterwards, so you don't feel like you don't remember what it was. And it's having a think. It's doing the fun things here. Takes a minute. 657 results for public speaking. Now, what this website does is it takes all of the different search engines that are out there, Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, a whole bunch of defunct ones, and processes and scrapes the data for what people are putting into search engines. Okay. And as we scroll down, it's got good search volume, 14,000 searches in the last week. 14,800 searches. And it'll tell you how many, like, when we look at the low to very little, this is when someone's typed it in maybe once to 982 times it's been typed in. Okay. Or it could have been typed in that, a lot of different times. So you have color coordinated. We also have cost per click if you're into ad resourcing, but we're not going to worry about that because we're not running paid ads with this. And then what it does is it gives you this absolutely beautiful graphic. And you can, as you see here at the top, you can download it into a CSV. But what I love is right here, key indicators. It will tell you what's highly searched and what's not really searched. So when we're looking at this, we're looking for everything that is in the darker orange. Or if you download it, you can actually search it by search volume as well. And this is your questions. For example, a very high one that's done is, which public speaking course should I take? People type that in a lot because it's being highlighted as one of the high ones. So now on your social media, specifically because when you do a public page, for example, on Facebook, or a public Instagram, or a public page on LinkedIn, or a public YouTube channel, whatever social media you do, guess what? Google scrapes those public pages for answers to questions. What do you think would happen if your club posted a social media post or video answering the question, which public speaking course should you take? It's one of the highest sought out things, and this is giving you the SEO and the exact question that you need to answer. So this will allow us to do a post or a video where you say, those who are looking for what public speaking course to take, let's take it one step further and go into an interactive community learning mode where you're supported, evaluate, and grow step by step. Now you have searchable content. Public speaking skills. Again, how many public speaking skills can you think of that Toastmaster provides? It helps you with nerves, it helps you with confidence, it helps you put together the content of your speech, it helps you with the systems, the logics. Even some clubs and some trainings help you with the how to do your camera, how to do your microphone, there is so many questions that could be answered here. And again, we use these exact words in our first sentence of that post. because we're answering questions. But if you look down here, is public speaking for everyone? It's not got very many searches. So is that going to be a priority to post? But if somehow you've managed to answer every single question that's one of the darker colors, could you post that? Yes, because it is searched. But your priorities need to go here. Let's see on this side, how public speaking can help you. This is such an easy one. This could be table topics that you record. Each of you members, I want to know how public speaking and Toastmasters changed your life. And then on my social medias, I'm going to post reels of Heather Osborne telling how public speaking in Toastmasters changed her life. I'm going to post one of Helen saying how public speaking changed her life. Because that is what's being searched for. So you see, you have all these different questions coming up. Again, color corner, where is public speaking done usually? Why is it important? What public speaking teaches you? Are public speaking classes worth it? This would be a great cost comparison post. You know, are public speaking classes worth it? And I'm just going to tell you from personal experience. I have also completed 2 Dale Carnegie courses, the regular Dale Carnegie and the leadership one. And that was 8 weeks for roughly $4,000 a piece. Do you think I get more value out of my $60 for 6 months Toastmasters membership than I did for that 8 weeks? Yes. This is a great way to show the absolute value someone would have joining your club. But it does not stop there. Guess what? We have even more. Public speaking do's and don'ts. How is public speaking different than a conversation? That's a good one to answer because, well, Toastmasters can help you turn your public speaking into a conversation and teach you how to improve your conversations. Public speaking near me. Your details of your club up to date on your website because people are looking for this. They're looking for it, so we need to find it. If you want to do a gavel club, public speaking for kids, for teens, people are searching. Comparisons as well. Can you see how this one search, free search, is just giving you more information than you could possibly deliver on your social media platform? Public speaking and presentation skills. Let's see, public speaking is a weakness. That'll be an interesting one. Interpersonal, oh, this is one that I think Johnny needs to answer for her club. Public speaking or interpersonal communication? These are being asked. And then at the bottom, it even does the alphabetical. And one thing I absolutely love here is right here, if you see this in the A's, highest one with 1.6 searches in the 1.6 thousand searches, public speaking anxiety. That was me. I had so much anxiety over it. And it gives you how many searches are actually happening. So right here, we see public speaking badge. Do we really want to talk about badges and public speaking on our social medias when only 10 people are looking for it? No, we don't want to waste our time. But this is completely downloadable into a CSV. And as you can see, it has just given you hundreds of pieces of content on one keyword. Imagine if we came in here and put feedback. Let's change it. Employee feedback. Because I have heard many employees or many supervisors say this is one of their biggest challenges when they're in the work environment is how to give feedback. And do we teach that in Toastmasters? How to give feedback? We teach it in every single club meeting. And this can be adapted to giving employee feedback. Again, it just thinks. I've already given you, with that one, there was 971 different topics that we could talk on. And another 540 right here for employee feedback. And again, we'll see how to give performance feedback, why employee feedback is important, where to give their feedback. And we can turn all of this into actionable content for our social media, where we talk about giving feedback in meetings and learning how to give it effectively to help motivate and mentor people to success. Do we have any questions on this one little fun website?
I post something in the chat. I just did my search, and first of all, I'm following you at the same time. But what is the on the outside? They have the like at the top chart. They have the why, the how, the
Yeah.
can, will. The same questions are in each one. What does that outside give me? There's a lot of. I'm not really a chart kind of. I mean, I'm a chart person, but I need a little more information about like what those mean, like how and can and why and.
Because it's different areas in which people are asking it. So for example, here, how to give, in the where it says how to give employee feedback examples, this would be, they post one of the biggest questions, and it's a low searches, they put in the chat, in the search bar, where would I find how to give employee feedback examples?
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily because they have in the like on mine, for example, in the when, there's only one has the word when in it.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily, they weren't starting with the words on the outside. So I was curious about that.
Yeah, no, it's not always. It's what the predisposition is of the question that's typed into Google. And honestly, if you use 20 questions from each one of these, that's a month worth of content. And you got 540. So pick and choose the ones that work well. Heather, is there anything else in the chat for me? Because when I'm sharing my screen, I don't have this on dual computer today.
I think that was, I think Helen was the only one. There was a couple of commentary.
Okay.
Angel asked the number one, oh, what is Toastmasters all about? Is the number one search under Toastmasters?
Yeah. There are
And
so many.
we're
And
also a cult.
and she's here in my ear telling me she has her hand raised. So I'm going to mute so she can unmute for a sec.
Yeah, I wanted to say, if Karen, if you scroll up, for Helen and the people who are less visual, the data tab helps because it lists it in a different way that may be able to break it down a bit better.
Oh,
And
yes.
also, apparently, under what Toastmasters is, the most searched thing is that Toastmasters is a cult. And I posted that in the chat. I just found that so funny as I'm going along with the searching that I've seen that.
So yes, that data does allow you to have it in a question format. And you see, this is why we have to start providing value around Toastmasters instead of, we're going to have a good time. We had a good time. We're going to have a good time. We had a good time. We're going to have a good time. We had a good time. We need to start providing that value so that people can see what's going on. Okay. Now, let's see if this will allow me to change screens, because I'm going to show you. Can you all see my Google screen? Perfect. So when you put a search in Google, this is another one that helps a lot in finding content. And you have to scroll down. And can you see this? People also ask. So when you type a question in that you think people would ask, scroll down to the people also ask, because that gives you the other questions that are being asked, the top 5 around this area. So what makes a better communicator? What are the 4 qualities of a good communicator? How can I become a better communicator at work? And it gives you quick, and as you open and close them, it then drops out more questions. And one of the things I have people do is you put the question that is the biggest question you get in your club, put it in there, and then you can just open and close this 10 times. And you now have roughly 25 questions, once you've done it 10 times, that you can use to create value in your social media of what people are asking. So from one question, I've just opened and closed a few times, and you can see I now have a bunch more questions that people are asking. With that, what I'm going to do is we're going to go into now, how can we use this? I'm going to pop the website in the chat. One was just Google and the other one was Answer the Public. So with the Answer the Public, what I recommend doing is you put your keywords in and then download the CSV. And you can sort it by search volume, just an Excel sheet. And then just pick 5 to create content around. Answer that question. Do a hook, give the value, and do a call to action. And your call to action is be a guest at our meeting. Come check out this training. Let's give Heather some information here that she can pass on to Sandy. For the pronouns training that Johnny is creating for next month, you can put in pronouns in here, come up with the questions, and use that to create the value to invite people to come and see the training that is going to go more in depth. Because if we just said, hey, let's train on pronouns, what's most people going to say? Yeah, heard it all before, don't need any more. I got this, it's fine. But if we ask the questions that are actually being asked, create some value around it, and then invite them to partake in the training, that is how you funnel people to come along in the system and join along. And I'm going to tell you the one thing that you need to always do, and again, this is the biggest gap that we have. You just did an amazing post and you had 5 people show up at your meeting as a guest. What's the next thing you need to do?
Tell them about our cult.
No, you need to follow up with them and make sure that what their goals are, what it is that they need, and talk to them. Because the biggest thing we don't do on social media is have conversations. Even Zuckerberg said that when he founded Facebook, it was to create a community. And we've gone from the community and sharing celebrations and sharing what we do and the value in what we're doing to, okay, I call it the post and pray. You post something and go, please let this work. Oh my goodness. I want 10 people to join my club because I just said that Rebecca's our keynote, but I didn't say anything about Rebecca being a keynote at our club. And please, no, we don't want to do the post and pray anymore. What we want to do is give the value. If you do have a special presenter at your club, name them, give their information, let people know what they're talking about and why they should attend and listen. If you don't tell people the why, then they're not going to attend. The with them is everything. What is in it for me? And it is one of the biggest areas that we can grow on. Again, this also leads back to what I was saying about pathways. If I said Heather got her DL3, means nothing. If I start talking about having dynamic leadership, being qualified in project management, team communication, organization, does that mean something to people looking at it? Yes. We need to make it meaningful and we need to answer the questions that people have. With that, I'm going to see if there's any questions because I just gave you the magic in which you can have a content plan for 30 days in less than 5 minutes.
I wish our newly appointed VPPR from Titan Toastmaster was here today. So I'm gonna have to give her all of this information to start crafting our message over there. We haven't had a VPPR in a couple of years.
Oh, let's make it easy. Here, this is how you find out what questions to answer on social media.
I already made an account with our Google account.
And you get three searches a day. Can you imagine that? That's a lot of questions. Yeah. And honestly, if you did want to pay for it, it's $9.99 a month or $100 a year. So that's why I have a paid account, because it's just definitely worth it for me. But I do find that for club purposes, 3 searches a day, it's a lot of information. And they do take the last week. So what you get pulled up this week will be different next week. For example, on public speaking, I'm going to tell you, there was a hiccup on a political post or political video at the climate change event where the wrong word was used. That changed the entire public speaking questions for like 3 weeks. And then it came back because everything was about Kamala Harris and the wrong word being used. I think she used population instead of pollution. So it does change weekly. What other questions? And you can use this in anything that you're doing. If you have a business, if you have an event, use this for contests. Why not search, speaking contests and come up with, why do we have contests? What are you going to gain from contests? If you conference, use this for that. Use your theme. What does going for gold mean? You can use this for pretty much anything and get a lot of content ideas. You never have to worry about running out of ideas again.
Any more questions for Karen?
Yeah.
Helen's
Oh,
comment.
but yeah,
Helen's 7 seconds are eating up.
yes. This is a very in-depth training, but it's one website. Just be happy that I didn't go into like the 17 different places that I get my content strategy from. This is like my top 2 to make everything wonderful for you.
I love me some search engine optimization, by the way, folks. When you make accessible content, it is more searchable. Google, Yahoo, Bing, and the other search engines like it better when you mark it. But that being said, yeah, keyword density, that's one of my favorite tools to use.
And this gets you some of the best keyword density out there. And I'm going to actually tag on to that. If you are to post videos of your meetings on YouTube or as shorts, please make sure they have captions, because that helps with your keyword search. And okay, bonus tip: who wants a golden nugget? Who uses Udly? Okay, guess what? I do not use it in the way it's meant to be used. When I record a video, whether it be for social media or a course or anything like that, I then go and upload it into Udly and use it for the captions, because it will give me a full caption list so I can upload that into YouTube so I have a more accurate one. Because the YouTube captions, it's good, but it's not great. Udly's is better. But it will also say what words and phrases you use the most for your keyword density. So then you hashtag those underneath it and you have a double density layer. And Udly is a free service because Toastmasters partnered with Udly, where it's a virtual AI speech training coach. But it is a great way to get your captions for free instead of using a captioning service, and to add in your keyword density that Johnny just spoke about.
Oh, Karen, you just gave me a great idea. Now I have to go to my leadership at work and see if I can make it happen.
Well, I'm glad I gave you an idea. That was the purpose of today. And Angel has another question.
Not a question, it's something Karen's gonna kill me on. I think Karen needs to also teach the clubs how to plan out posts for an entire month and reduce your workload, because oftentimes people think you need to go in and post every single day rather than just using something like Metrical or the business suite. So like I said, Karen's gonna kill me.
Heather, does that mean I'm making some on-demand training before I can on like automations?
That would be fantastic.
My clubs would benefit greatly from that training.
Like I said, I'm in for death. She's sitting next to me and I know I'm gonna get it.
This is my partner in crime, and the crime will be her murder tonight. So Helen, this is even more advanced, and I didn't want to bring these into this because I did bring a fairly advanced topic to the Learning Lab today, because Heather encouraged me to bring it in, bring my game face today. But what we're talking about is there's two systems I use, and it's called Metrical and I use ManyChat. Metrical is a software planner which I can pop. I do have. I'm going to put my link in. Heather, do you mind if I put my personal link in for Metrical? Because when you do that, you get free time on it to try and, instead of having to pay for it straight away. They do have a free version for just one platform, but when you pay for it, it's not very expensive, but you can do all platforms in one place, but you get like a free, I'm just pulling it up right now.
And I know these things because I've had the dissemination of knowledge for the last 2 years.
Yeah. So this is Metrical, and this is my link, and it gives you the premium for free without using a credit card at first to test it out. But they do have a free platform where you can use only one social media and 50 posts in a month. Metrical gives you all your analytics from all your social medias, as well as allows you to plan everything out, including stories. And other platforms don't allow you to do that. So this one's called Metrical. Oh, I spelt it wrong. I'm so good at that. Okay. Now I will tell you, Metrical is used by individuals such as Dean Graziosi, to give you an idea of how well it is used. Okay. But Metrical is a post planning system where I can sit down and in 2 hours upload the 30 days worth of content and not touch it for 30 days. It literally puts everything on my platform at the times and dates that I told it to, without any.
And this is why I said she needs to do another training on that, because like club officers do not have 40 hours in a month to do this.
Like I said, that is my affiliate link if you do buy it, but it is the way to give you the free, the trial without having to pay for it. And then this is ManyChat, and again, this will give you free. They do offer a free program up to 2,000 subscribers, which is perfectly acceptable for normally a Toastmasters page. But what ManyChat does is it is an automation system. And one of the best ways I've used it in Toastmasters clubs before is you message the Facebook page and it comes up with a say start, and you hit start, and it comes up with like 3 questions. What time are your meetings? Where are you located? What is your meeting? And you click on one of those and it gives the answers. So instead of someone answering all the messages, it's an automated bot to answer the messages. The really cool thing is when you do go into the paid model, which is about $20 a month. For example, when I was saying the drop a heart or comment to get our meeting invite, and they comment, ManyChat will automatically reply to that comment saying, check your DMs, and will message that person the details that you put in there to message. So you're not having to do the follow-up. And like I said, murder is on the table tonight. because it looks like I just added like 5 trainings that I need to create.
Yeah, so
The
what's
reason-
overwhelming about this wasn't necessarily the content of it, was
Yeah.
all the different things that are out there. People
Yeah.
will say to me, which drives to me, whatever. It's not that I'm not tech savvy, it's that I'm not tech aware. So for me, and when you were saying these things, I'm like, what are you saying? Because it didn't, it came across, and quite frankly, the one that was the Metro Cool, I
Yeah.
thought it was Metro Pool, which is actually a
Ah.
website.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't, and it was like a government website thing, and I'm like, I don't think that's what you thought.
Yeah, which is why I always do like to try and put all the websites in the chat to help eliminate any confusion.
Yeah, it came out Metro Calls, what I thought you were, that's what I'm like, is she saying Metro Call? Is she saying Metro what?
Yeah,
And I had
Metro-
the closed captioning on and it wasn't catching it either, so.
you know what? My accent tends to be a problem at times, and that's just
Yeah,
who I
It
am.
happens,
It tends to get her out of a lot of trouble as well.
but it's good though, because it made me stop and say, what was that? And then it
Yes,
gives.
I'm glad you did. Now, I will say anyone can reach out to me. I am on pretty much every social media. I live there. And I'm under Karen Hewitt, or Blossom to Success. So please connect with me. And if you have questions, I am more than happy to help as best as I can. I'm going to pop this is my speaking email or my Toastmasters email that I'm going to put in the chat as well. I can type, because today apparently I'm not allowed to type anymore. My email that I use to connect from Toastmasters is karen@connectasahuman.org, because that's what I believe we should be doing. And this is the best use of our Toastmasters opportunity, is to learn how to connect with other people as human beings and create those meaningful and authentic conversations. And that's what I want to see you doing for your clubs. So that way more people come to you for the community within your club and see what they can achieve with this organization. Heather, I took you to 1 o'clock. Unless there's any other questions for me.
And I will also stop the recording so that you can ask questions